think she was possessed? I try to be a gentle orc and help a lady in need, and what does it... There's a Khajiit digging through the rubble of an old Akaviri tomb just up the trail here. She kept muttering to herself, so I...
Did the spirit send you to help Kisaravi? What did she say? My apologies. Kisaravi hoped you heard the spirit too. Spirit may not be correct. Entity, a goddess perhaps. The one who protects the tomb while wrapping her arms around Kisaravi's mind. Thank you, stranger. Kisaravi hopes you will be the one to pass the spirit's test and retrieve the Akaviri relics. Years ago, Khajiit allowed displaced Akaviri to bury their dead in Khajiiti tombs. So many Akaviri were buried here that they renamed it Tomb of the Serpents. The Akaviri placed armor and relics alongside their dead. The spirit watches over all. Curiosity, arrogance, greed. Kisaravi wanted to unlock the Akaviri's secrets. Some say their ancestors were eaten by a race of vampiric serpents. I never saw her, but I felt her. Her words opened something within me, a sense of thank you, stranger. Kisaravi hopes you will be the one to pass the spirit's test. Only the strong can carry our message.
You are different, outsider. Perhaps you are the one to deliver our message. Perhaps you will die like the rest. survive, you will know the message. Lay down your sword, outsider. You already belong to the Akaviri. Live, and you will share our story. Die.
You got the Akaviri relics! The Akaviri spirit has blessed you. Kisaravi can tell. How else would you have succeeded where Kisaravi has failed? Please, accept this gift, and this... Kisaravi knew that she would need someone brave enough to enter the tomb, strong enough to pass the spirit's test, and wise enough to accept her protection and never question her voice. The spirit wants Kisaravi to share the Akaviri relics with Tamriel. They possess a magic we can't understand. A magic that will spread her influence and protect us all. For some, it is the key to unlocking ancient secrets and lost magic. For others, it is a reminder of why some things are better left unknown.
To make me a fur coat. One of Halo's pet cats. Time to make me a fur coat.
Ha! Vestige. How good of you to attend me. As I was saying to Lord Gareshri and Chimera, competent help remains at a premium in this remote province, which is why I sent for you. We must once more join forces to save Elsewhere from a rage of dragons. So much better than flock or herd, don't you think? The Khajiit Defense Force isn't prepared to deal with a threat as big as dragons, especially since they were fighting to liberate Rimmon when the huge beasts arrived. Stay focused. We'll deal with that later. Right now, we must assist the Defense Force. Rendezvous with us at their command post. On your way, however, I have another task for you. I detected a series of power surges that I want you to investigate. I was formulating a spell to track the dragons when I noticed several surges of arcane energy not far from here. They reminded me of an old acquaintance. Has a way with portals. If it is him, I want you to secure his help against the dragons. Around? Someone needed to check on Cyrodiil and try to hold the pieces together. With the central government disbanded and the imperial city a smoking ruin, any semblance of order has gone the way of the Dwemer. The people deserve better. Between the imbecilic Three Banners War and the constant rise and fall of some new warlord or bandit chief, there was more to deal with than even I imagined. Even so, I was able to make some small difference. Without a legion to command, my options were severely limited. The best I could manage was to liberate a few small villages and lead the refugees to a safe haven. Hence my desire to end this pathetic war and restore order to the Empire. You think so, Vestige? Perhaps you don't know me half as well as you think. How should I put this so that you fully understand? None of your business. The Amulet of Kings represents the highest office in the Empire, and I refuse to allow it to become lost or stolen again. I expect nothing but your continued assistance, Vestige. However, I concede that your aid in recovering the relic was vital. All right. No need to pester. Once you started your merry parade of divinely inspired destruction, I formed a contingency. In case you failed, we would need the amulet to try again with another would-be hero. Good thing you didn't fail. Safer than it was. You think I'd do what Sai Sahan did and just bring it right back to Sankra Tor? Please. Whatever you think of me, you should at least know I'm not stupid. As you can imagine, the companions were none too pleased with me after everything that transpired. I've made no effort to reach out to the survivors, nor they to me. It's just as well. That chapter of our lives ended at Heart's grief.
You're responding to Abnur Tharn's letter, one of the promising adventurers. I hope you can help us. But where are my manners? Welcome to Riverhold and the province of Northern Elsewhere, also known as Anequina. I am the Speaker of the Main. No, matters in other parts of Elsewhere occupy the Main right now. That is why I am here. I originally arrived to take charge of the Northern Elsewhere Defense Force. Efforts to expel the usurper Euraxia Tharn were well underway when the dragons appeared. A few years ago, Abnur Tharn's half-sister conquered Rimmon and parts of Northern Elsewhere. Talk to Abnur Tharn. He has agreed to serve as my advisor, a role he knows well from his years standing beside the Ruby Throne. His strategies and tactics for use against the dragons sound outrageous, but he knows what he is doing.
Another outsider comes to Elsewhere, as if we did not have enough problems between Abnur Tharn and the dragons. I am Chimera. I assist the Speaker of the Main and serve as his agent. What can I tell you that you cannot guess? That arrogant Imperial! For an advisor to emperors and a renowned battle mage, he demonstrates a disturbing lack of caution. What do my beliefs matter? Dragons have come to Elsewhere, destroying everything I hold dear.
this one welcomes you back. An excellent selection. Are you ready to reveal your rewards? Agruti is envious. This will come in handy. Do not be sad, my friend. There are always additional crates available for purchase. Goodbye, my friend.
Greetings, a crowded marketplace, a chance meeting, unexpected, unannounced, and an abduction, to be precise. No ransom, no demands, no obvious suspects or motives, just a heartbroken father and a missing young lady. Correct. This one searches for Xynthia. A chance meeting turned fated partnership. For two, he is a humble Khajiit of moderate wealth. Seems to keep to himself. Most strange, no? If Mizik did not know better, he would say that it was an intimidation tactic. They outright dismissed Ishu's claim, believing that the young lady has merely run away. A most vexing call, truth be told. Mizik Thunderboots is a Khajiit of action. Well, he does not wish to merely boast of his prowess. This one will confess, while Mizik is confident in his skills of investigation, he struggles with the more alarming situations his line of work often entails. Not this investigation, thank the moons. Well, not yet. It is a good name, no? Mizik Thunderboots. When scoundrels hear the footsteps of his boots, they will quake in fear. Oh, well, perhaps you are right. Not very subtle, is it?
Congratulations on finding the finest cloth merchant in... Oh, Thadara was wondering how much longer she would... The courier who brought Rigger's rotten package was promised payment upon delivery. Thadara assumed someone would eventually... You can see the courier's invoice for yourself. Thadara wouldn't want you to think you were being cheated. Thank you, friend. Thadara had doubts about accepting a strange package that's...
Why is sleeping?
don't have a choice, Izanji.
And what? You expect us to just stroll into an Akaviri crypt? Be reasonable.
Well, if we don't recover those mural pieces, who will? Welcome to the House of Histories. You'll find no grander collection of curiosities and memorabilia in all of Elsewhere. An ancient mural called the Ridana di Renada, otherwise known as the Song of Kingdoms. It chronicles the time when Elsewhere was 16 united kingdoms working in harmony. Yes, into exactly 16 pieces. My brother and I found and restored each and every one. And then, just as we were about to put all the pieces together again, they were stolen. Who would be? Thank you for offering to help. Oddly enough, the Rithana di Rinala was the peace between the kingdoms did not last. Elsewhere faces many dangers now. More than ever, the Khajiit must band together. Yes, it is. But that clue is all we have at the moment. It actually reminds me of the old Khajiiti legend, Rajin and a Trail of Ink. He was a renowned thief who possessed the Ring of Khajiiti, which allowed him to be invisible, silent, and quick. He ascended to become an immortal trickster god and patron to thieves. Rajin and the Trail of Ink is but one of his many legends. Many moons ago, when Rajin was still but a thief and not yet a god, he met a beautiful soldier named Captain Nasuna. He was captivated by Nasuna's beauty and skill, but she scorned all of his advances. So, Rajin set out to woo her. Nasuna guarded a merchant's estate. 5 times Rajin entered this estate, stealing an item and hiding it elsewhere. He left clues behind for the captain, daring her to recover what he stole. And each time she prevailed, for she was as clever as he. Rajin was proving himself. By stealing these items, he showed his cunning. By hiding them away, he showed his honor. By
Are you here about this one, Cynthia? Has she been found? Yes, of course. Cynthia was taken in the dead of night. This one has received no ransom, yet he fears the worst. Cynthia has a long, glossy coat, soft as the richest of silks. Her eyes are bright yellow, like the honeyed moons. And she always wears a gold necklace. No suspects, no, but someone who may have spotted something? The wood elf's name is Mel? Yes, to help find this one's darling Cynthia? Cynthia is a willful child. A tad spoiled, this one admits. Ishu dotes on her. Thank you! Mel arrived in Riverhold a few seasons ago. Makes a living begging for gold as she sings and dances. Mel does not have a home in the traditional sense, so you will often find her sleeping in the stables and bathing in the public fountains, but...
What do you know? A customer.
Inuma once lived in Star Haven, a beautiful adeptorium with many wonderful adepts. There was nothing left for this one in Star Haven. Too many sad memories.
Salutations. Mel the Musical at your service. Ishu, the Khajiit with all the cats? That old coot is sweet as honey jagger, but a bit off if you ask me. Shame about his daughter, though. No, if you're looking for trouble, Tajiri's your girl. I've seen her with all sorts of indecent folk lately. Always shifty eyes on those ones, I tell you. She's very good, then. And hey, if you're looking for some entertainment for your next soiree, make sure to seek me out. You won't regret it. She's a gambler with a lot of friends in a lot of places. And you know, who am I to judge? Suspicious activity. People who I ain't ever seen before, going about town at all hours. I mean, I may stay up well past most people's bedtime, but I'm a musician. Come to the...
Saw you heading this way. Find anything of interest? Oh, the stables, Developed a sudden interest in horsemanship, Walker? Oh, looks to be a coat. A napping badger, eh? Music will mark it on your map, Walker. Feel free to lead the way. And perhaps this is a good time to make...
No, Azazel. Never touch a Daedric monster, especially a dead one.
Don't be such a nervous netch. The dead can't hurt us.
stinks of Cold Harbor. Perhaps one of the Usurper Queen's lackeys summoned it, yes?
Don't touch the dead thing, Theduna tells me. Like I don't know how to handle a Daedric corpse. I wonder what killed it, though. Maybe it ran afoul of a dragon.
Stay low in the grass. We've got ruddy fangs up on the hillside, and probably more down on the other side of the cliff. The ruddy fangs are the biggest bandit pride this side of the scar. I'm not hiding, I'm waiting. Thought I might sneak into camp at an opportune moment and get back what's mine. You do that? It's a backpack, Imperial Legion make. It was my husband's. It's just some personal items, a handful of gold. I don't care about that. I just want my husband's things. The dragons already took his life. North of here, towards Cyrodiil. Finally bringing my husband home. As much of him as there was. She brought him to elsewhere. Let it...
Skooma. These vagrants must be smugglers. Feeling a bit... Apologies. This one is fine. That necklace must belong to Xynthia. Come, let us speak away from this place. A missing daughter, a hidden note, and now a band of Skooma smugglers. This investigation becomes messier with every step we take. This one is unsure, though it is possible Issue may be hiding something. Still, our priority should be to investigate the gambler who wrote that note. Tajiri was her name, yes? That does ring a bell or two. If Tajiri is a gambler, it is likely we can find her at a local tavern. Mizik will head there at once and see what he can dig up. Meet this one at the Banished Regrets Inn.
No, greetings, Walker. You are not also going to the abode of ignominy, are you? This one saw a stranger, a Khajiit woman. Cathay by the look of her. She wore the attire of...
All outsiders insist on acting suspiciously. I watched you go from location to location, just like the man with the pot on his head. Are you one of the soldiers intent on digging up every plot of land? Oh, do not play innocent with me, stranger. You must be working with that pale, gaunt fool with the ridiculous mustache. Euraxia, the hated Imperial who conquered Rimmon and falsely claimed to be its queen. Do not feign ignorance, outsider. I had just about... you sound as confused as he was. Kept talking to his pet lizard bird like he expected it to answer. The last I saw, he headed east. I suppose you'll find him in that direction, and south of Riverhold. Just stop skulking around.
You and I need to speak, now! I must admit, you and Thunderboots make quite the charming pair. And watching you both play at being investigator, why, it's been sleek entertainment, truly. Take it as a friendly warning. I hear that you seek Ishu's daughter, yes? Then Ishu has become senile in his old age. I speak truthfully. He had one daughter, and she is gone.
Join in our game. We've only just begun. Place your wager, raise the stakes, build a tower from your drakes, draw your fortune, toss your wealth. Risk it all, you'll have your health. And if you wind up the moon hallow.
Hey, you came. Did the Ruddy Fang still have my things? This means a lot, really. I don't have much left to remember him by. I didn't really expect anyone to help a Legion widow out here. The Khajiit don't have much love for the Empire these days. I'm going to make a small memorial shrine over my hearth. If I still have a hearth. I won't know until there's a break in the fighting long enough that I can get home.
Next time be more discreet. You're done. Now you're broke, tuck tail and run. Make a scene or swear and roar. Toss out and cows galore. Next time you're minded on deceit, have the good sense to try.
Bright moon, look over us today, Walker. Forgive this one if he's skeptical. Even if this stranger spoke truly, then perhaps this stranger simply wishes to confuse us.
Why, hello, sweet meat. Care to play a game with old Tajiri?
Of course. Though this one will admit he is not very skillful. Quickly, head to Tajiri's house.
Singing a song that could...
Tajiri, is that you? We need more groceries for the house. There's barely anything to eat. And would it kill you to tidy up our room once in a while? The upstairs is a mess.
This one hopes you have found something of interest, Walker. Blue serpents? 4-pointed paint? If Mizik had to guess, this poem describes drop-off locations for illicit goods. That's it. The river is often busy with trade. Mizik will admit this case is heading in a rather unexpected direction. It is strange, isn't it? With an operation as intricate as this, it seems odd that these smugglers would target a Khajiit of such limited wealth. This one agrees, but let us first check these smuggler cache. Painted mark seems curious, no? Somerset wine, eh? Not illegal, but incredibly taxed. Mizik has a feeling this bottle didn't find its way to Riverhold through virtuous means. Mizik sees a painted mark ahead. A very pretty scarf for smugglers to wear, yes? Perhaps it belongs to Cynthia. That mark has 4 points, like the note says. This barrel smells sweet, but also rotten. What could it be? Dark moons. They're smuggling spoiled moon sugar. Very unsafe for anyone to eat. Speak to Issue and see what he knows of his smugglers. Then let us meet back at the tavern. We have much to discuss.
Uncanny. It looks just like the lovely place I dreamed of. Must be why my portals led me here. Eventually. Ah, hello there. to see you again, old chum. Have you come to pay your respects, too? It was important. I have no idea. I suppose it must be. I saw it in a dream, after all. Or was it a vision? I get those two confused. Anyway, I felt a sort of pull and stepped through a door, and then pish-posh, on as a bantam gua, and here I am. Tharn, you say, the grumpy battle mage. How is the old boy? The surges were probably just me. My portal took a few tries before we honed in on this exact... Well, it took a few tries to find the exact spot I saw in my dream. A number of frightfully rude lads and lasses occupied the first location I visited, demanded my surrender. Have you got a foul smelling? I'll have you know that was my lunch. Can't believe I lost it. And if by Bantam Gua you mean my faithful steed, Honor, well, he's always getting into my foodstuffs. Has the appetite of a mammoth and the cunning of a fox, that one. Dispatch? Why would I do such a terrible thing? I adore those adorable pudge buckets. Alas, Grook was standing a little too close. Were the words the same for you? Sometimes written language likes to confuse me. Words change and switch places. Very annoying. Anyway, the gravestone mentions the betrayer. Sounds like a dastardly chap. Wonder if I don't have the slightest idea. The words inscribed upon it conjure up all kinds of questions, though. Who is this betrayer? Whom did he betray? Why did they bury only his head? And where did they put the rest of the poor fellow? Dragons? I haven't battled a dragon since... You know, I can't remember. But I'm certain I fought one or two in my day. I was a gallant knight, after all. Did you hear that, my trusty shovel? Dragons and mysterious graves. It's just like old times.
won't belong to the Akaviri.
Not so fast, Walker. Rachin would first have a word with you. So, you have found the first piece of the Rithana di Renata. Impressive. But Rachin can't help but wonder if you have patience enough to find the other 15. This one is the shadow of Rachin. Well, a shadow of Rachin. There are 7 of us, all told. Surely you have heard of Rachin, yes? Elsewhere's greatest thief, whose crimes were so fabulous he became divine. This one is but an avatar of his greatness. Do you expect a truthful answer? What kind of trickster do you take this one for? Here, let us make a deal. If you find all the pieces, each and every one, Rachin will consider sharing his motivations. Only then. Of course, Rachin will provide clues. What fun would it be otherwise? Here then, a book for your convenience. Is not Rachin kind? Ah, and one other thing. Outside help is strictly forbidden. Iraya might have solved this one's first clue, but the rest are up to you. A trickster, a hero, and an ancient mural. Just the recipe for a grand adventure, no? Ah, but this one is most excited to see it unfold. Why, you have Rachin's Book of Riddles, do you not? Each verse will let you know where a certain piece of the Rithana di Renata can be found. Well, this one is feeling rather generous today. Rachin will let you know that every piece lies in northern Elsewhere. The more you explore, the more likely you are to find them. This one is but a shadow of the great Rachin. Of course! By the way, if you see Pakruti, tell him he still owes this one a pouch of gold.
Yes, any news of this one, Cynthia? Smuggler camps? Dark moons? Yes, the necklace and scarf belong to Cynthia. No, of course not. Issue has only lived a good, honest life. May bright moons watch over you. Oh, really? Well, Issue supposes his family has grown over the years. But how could this one not seek their companionship? Their little faces, their tiny paws. His darlings love him completely, demanding little but affection and food, and belly rubs. But of course, mostly. She and Medwick don't always get along, but Medwick is older and doesn't always like to play or be teased. And just between us,
Tak can be a bit of a jacuzzi sometimes. I think she's jealous.
Ah, you've returned. Let us speak. Greetings. Were you able to find the missing mural pieces? If you want to pull my tail, you could at least try a bit harder than that. Really, what would Rajin's shadow want with the Rithana de Renada? It might have historical significance, but it's certainly not a prize worthy of the trickster god. Sure. Just let me know if you meet John and Jod next, yes? We could use some brighter moons. Why don't you just place the mural piece back in its frame? Iraya should return shortly. You can speak to her about the other missing pieces.
Our neighbors saw nothing, of course. Oh, you found one of the pieces! I see you've collected a missing piece. Slick work. Now, if we only had clues for the other 15 pieces, makes finding them particularly difficult for us, no? Rajin's shadow? I'll be honest, that's a lot to take in. But after all you've done for us, how can I not offer you the benefit of the doubt? Think that the Rithana de Renada was snatched away by Rajin's shadow. Never would I have thought that to be the case.
Have you met the new investigator in town?
Through savannah grass, on light feet we glide. Hey, hey, Bandari boy, tap your heels and stride. Hey, hey, Bandari boy, swing your tail and slide.
I warned you, Thunderboot, and so the other thorn in my paw arrives. I told you, did I not? First time was a warning. Now it is a threat. That again? I told you Issue's daughter left Riverhold years ago. Who I am does not matter. What I can do to you, on the other hand, should be of immediate.
So it appears that your strange friend is Rideza the Rogue. Good to know. Let us just say that her reputation precedes her. Well, threats to our life aside, it seems that we finally have a perpetrator. We are investigators, are we not? You must search for a trail. With any luck, she'll lead you straight to Issue's.
a sugar claws! I didn't even see who ran into me.
Bizahen thought about joining the Order of the Zankash when he was a younger Khajiit. But all those rules the Adepts must follow...
There! Riteza must have stepped on the jelly from the sugar claws. You must follow her trail while this one alerts the guards.
Unsurprisingly, the Alfie got...
Kill this muskox! Curse your meddling!
Rid of the roll. Caught at last.
Did you find my daughter? Where is she?
Here! Your daughter is right here, you old fool!
Rideza! You're the one who stole Cynthia? Oh, this one's poor Jakashit.
Ha! Feeling a little jealous? To go so far as to steal your father's pet.
You think that Ridgeza the Rogue is finished? It's only a matter of time before I'm back on the streets. When I came back to Riverhold, I went to see my fool of a father. It's been years since Mother and I... Of the cat? No, I just wanted to make him suffer. He's always been obsessed with his damn pets. That's why Mother left him, you know. He's so caught up in his little family that he didn't have time for us. Maybe you're right. Just another delinquent with papa problems. Isn't that just the way?
You know, I wasn't too sure about Thunderboots when he first came to town. Thought he would just cause more trouble than he solved. No, not too long. But it never takes much time for these kind of operations to wreak havoc on towns like Riverhold. Moldy moon sugar by itself will do little more than make a Khajiit ill. The trouble is, most likely, It's a vile thing to sell, though.
Ishu is so pleased that you were able to find Cynthia. What do you mean? Ishu gave you every detail about his precious Cynthia that he could think of. Ridazar has become just as greedy and cruel as her mother. How can Ishu accept such a daughter? Especially one who has already caused him to suffer. If she wants to make peace, Ishu will make peace. After all, a quiet life for him and his family is all this one asked for.
Well, it seems that our investigation has come to a successful close. Though not quite in a way that Mizik was expecting. In hindsight, it makes sense. When you were told that Ishu's daughter left town years ago, Rideza must have been speaking of herself. Still, to have been chasing Ishu's pet this whole time. This is true. Because of our dedication, Riverhold no longer has to deal with these vile smugglers. And let us hope it stays that way, yes? Mizik just needs to collect our reward. Why don't we meet at the Banished Regrets? Drinks are on Mizik. Just as soon as he is paid, of course.
Praise Vivek! You were there to stop Alexandra Cannell from capturing the Coral Heart.
A family reunited, a smuggling ring destroyed, and the gratitude of all of Riverhold. Of course, of course. Your share as promised. After all, Mizik would never have been able to solve this investigation without your aid. A safe town, a happy client, and an investigation expertly solved. After such a successful investigation, Mizik is hopeful that more clients will come forth. Those in power have priorities, and the petty problems of the common folk, they tend to be on the very bottom of this list. Of course, but first and foremost, it is Mizik's passion. Mizik's investigations take him many places, so it is hard to call one town home. Honestly? Just the one. A bard's flute was stolen while he was drinking in the tavern. He was very certain another musician had stolen it out of jealousy. Quickly, it turned out to be the innkeeper who stole the flute. This bard could not play in tune to save his life, and it was driving away business. The Khajiit here.
Get down. I'll deal with this. Oh, now you show up. Left me to deal with a dragon all by myself. I discouraged it. But not before it laid waste to most of the camp. We arrived to find the outpost being overrun by undead. The betrayer. There's a betrayer mentioned in the legends of Kunzari. It seems those stories continue to hound me. That doesn't surprise me. Cadwell and Strange go together like hot bread and butter. I need to recover my strength. Kunzari, hero of the Merethic era. Most of the legends are unbelievable, though the...
Damn us for arriving too late. I did not expect to find our militia under assault by a horde of undead. And then the dragon. Oh, it tangles the tail, Vokar, it truly does. The militia was already depleted from the fight to liberate Riverhold, but we were determined to press on toward Rimen. Between the undead and the dragon, though, we can barely hold this portion of the outpost. Our resistance to Euraxia's rule requires more than just soldiers. There are intelligence reports, safe house locations, lists of supporters, documents we cannot afford to lose. They are vital to our efforts to free Rimen from Euraxia's rule. And if her forces acquire them, those who help us will be exposed.
If you're so fascinated by the dead, why don't you join them? This one doesn't know you, but at least you aren't a walking corpse. This one must ask, why are you here? Bright moons! This one thought these were lost forever. That was one of Euroxia, the usurper queen's pet necromancer. His undead devastated our troops, so this one took pleasure in ending his existence. Euroxia's chief necromancer, Zumag Fum, has been with her for some time, but our intelligence suggests his followers have only recently rallied to her side.
I've spotted dragons circling in the distance from time to time, but it doesn't look like the winged monster that attacked the camp will return today. I must join them there. The Khajiiti forces have been decimated by this attack. Yes, I read the reports. Zumog Foom and his necromancers working for my despicable half-sister. Such magic leaves behind a miasma of stench and decay. Good idea. Dragons are bad enough, but undead tend to go on without end. In such a direct manner? Yes, as far as we know. It could have been coincidence, but the attack felt designed to hit us when it would do the most damage. Find the source of this army of undead, and if you see Chimera, send her back to Riverhold. She's as reckless as she is capable, which, in case you haven't noticed, we two don't always see eye to eye.